Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for April 30th. The Japanese yen, the U.S. Japanese yen pair moved much higher today. It did form a reversal. It is moving higher. We are looking for it to move potentially as high as 99.71 and possibly as low as 96.32. Look for some resistance around 99.23 and look for some support around 97.97. Now, let's switch over to the Euro-USD pair. This pair moved much higher and then pulled back a significant amount. I mean, it was over 114 pips at the open, from the open to the high, and then it continued lower and closed about 150 pips from its high. So it definitely pulled back. We are expecting this pair, though, to move potentially as high as 135.06 and looking on the lower end around 130.81. Look for some resistance around 133.02 and look for some support around 131.66. Now, switching over to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair is moving to 150.87 and possibly as low as 145.51. Look for some resistance around 148.38 and look for some support around 147.19. Now, switching to the US Swiss, this particular pair moved much lower than pulled back prior to the close. We are expecting this pair to move potentially as high as 115.24 and possibly as low as 111.70. Look for some resistance around 114.50 and look for some support around 113.62. Now, there's not a whole lot going on. The pair that we looked at yesterday, if you notice what happened, we had a swing trade that had been swing trade set up that had been triggered, came pretty close. Probably get a better line on it with this tool. May have to bear with me while I change the color of it. But it basically moved right up to some previous resistance and then pulled back, just as we had talked about. If you have a swing trade or whatever the setup is, if you have, there we go, if you have a swing trade or a inside bar, whatever your setup is, and there's not a lot of room to the upside before hitting several points of resistance, at that point you need to really think about if you're going to take that trade or not. We had previous resistance that it hit and actually stopped, then pulled back and moved lower from. Definitely several points of resistance to look at as you moved up higher. Now, once you see it do that, you can definitely look to go short that pair, and that would have been a really good trade. Now, what are we looking for into Friday's market? Not a whole lot going on. The pound Swiss formed a swing trade that's fairly close to the market, but here again, if you look at potential resistance that it could hit, there's just not a there's a lot more resistance than there is what I consider an open window or a window of opportunity. We've talked about that in the past to profit from. So you can definitely watch that pair, but that's one that I would be leery of taking. Now, the New Zealand US dollar pair, this particular pair formed an inside bar today. We could definitely get a breakout of this during the next session. If you get a breakout above the 0.5777 mark, you would look to buy. Anything below the 0.5571, you'd look to sell. We are a good distance from both of those. I'm anticipating the market to just move higher and possibly form another inside bar, or just definitely stay within this session's range. So not anticipating a breakout, but it is one to look at. And that's about all that's going on during this next session. The only news announcement of any significance tomorrow would be the USD releasing their ISM manufacturing report for April at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is that it has moved higher from 36.3 to 38.4. Well, until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.